here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to take a look at this new set of watercolors. It's the Altenew Watercolor Essential Set. It is 12 half pans. They're actually cakes, but we'll get into that in a second. And on the back of the box it shows you the colors. They do use the Altenew names from what I gather, and so it will be easier for you to mix and match if you're accustomed to using their other products. And a little synopsis about the product. It says it contains 12 vibrant watercolor circular half pans. It coordinates perfectly with their line of ink. The colors have been thoughtfully selected from our 36 pan set. I don't have that. I've never used it. It was their first watercolor set that came out, the 36 set, giving you the ultimate versatility in color mixing. They are intensely pigmented, fade minimally when drying, and are stored in a convenient metal tin with a palette in the lid for mixing. So let's see, do these claims, do these live up to their claim? Now I've got to be completely honest with you. I like their artist watercolor set of 24 half pans a lot. I think it's excellent. I like their 14 full pans of metallic watercolor a lot. I like their watercolor brush markers and their alcohol brush markers. But what we're talking about today are these, and honestly, I kind of feel like they missed the mark. So I want to be very respectful during this review. I never want to do anything that's gonna put down a company, especially when they make wonderful products other than the one that I'm reviewing. But I just want to be completely upfront. Also, they sent me these paints to review for free. I'm not getting paid to do this video, and I just want to put it all out there. So it comes in a metal tin. I like metal tins. That and I think these I think sell for about $17 or $16.99, and I think when you see paint come in a metal tin, you're expecting some good paint. First thing I noticed is that the cakes of watercolor don't want to sit in their spots. There's like a little raised flange here that sits into this little divot. But just the friction from my paintbrush, from just like picking up paint with my paintbrush, knocks these out of whack. And it's very frustrating when you're trying to mix paint, when you're trying to paint. I did a couple little doodles with this, and honestly, I just did not want to touch these paints anymore. I found them very frustrating in the quality, the arrangement of the palette, and the Waterbrush actually. So the Waterbrush has a fine tip. It can do some pretty nice little, lines. The problem with it though, is you see how there's some pink there? It sucks paint up into the brush when you're working with it, and it can be very difficult to squeeze out enough water to flush out the leftover residual color, and it kind of negates the purpose of a water brush because you'll be using up all your water just to clean out the brush. But let me just flip to a new page here, and I'll show you. I'm going to pick a color that I really like. There are a couple of colors that I really like here. One thing I don't like is that when you use the colors, they have kind of a syrupy consistency, which is weird. They're not like opaque at all. They're very transparent, but they have this like syrupy consistency to them. And there might be like, let me get a little more water out there. There might be a reason for that, like in maybe brush lettering, because I don't do brush lettering. But I'm having a hard time getting a consistent flow with this brush. It's got a nice fine tip, but like the Koi water brushes, they will continuously feed water, and a lot of brushes will continuously have like a little bit of a water feed. This one doesn't, and already I've got blue sucked up into the valve there. Can you see that? So to clean that out, I've got to keep squeezing and squeezing until there's no more blue, and I feel like I'm using up half of my water in there by doing that. So it's frustrating. Now, I've used some of the other Altenew water brushes, and I haven't had that issue, so I don't know if this is just a fluke or just a bum brush or what. So the other issue I had with the paints is, other than the quality of the pans not sitting in their little wells and the water brush, is that a lot of these colors are quite weak. Now I had to do a couple layers on the citrus, on the fresh, what's it called, fresh fields or green fields, forest glades, that's what it is, and the they called that Persian blue, but that looks like ultramarine and not like Prussian blue, which is I would think what they were going for with that name. So when I pick up, oh goodness, see, I'm trying not to be cranky, but that's making me kind of cranky. Okay, so, and the other thing is, if I used my good watercolor brush to do this, I would damage it because of the amount of the amount of work I need to do to get some of these colors out. I did pre-spray this. I've been using this palette for a couple of hours doing charts and stuff, and I'm still not getting a very strong tone from these. Another one that was really light was this one here. You know, that's not what I expect if I'm spending $17 for a set of paints. That's not a lot of money. I'm not comparing these to Daniel Smith or to M. Graham or any of, you know, these other more expensive brands. I'm comparing these to what I would expect. Now, for instance, these paints here by Phoenix, and I think the company Phoenix also makes Artesa's watercolors and the Jerry's Artorama Lucas, like kind of kids grade watercolor. I've never wet this paint. I bought this because I had that paint set before and I gave it away and then I missed it. So I bought one again. So this was $5. Round cake, same size as those. So let me grab some similar colors and let's have a look. No, I haven't used these. I haven't pre-wet them or anything. Let's take the one that looks like the ultramarine blue. That's a little more purpley. Let's try this one. So not pre-wet, already so much darker. Of course, that's a different tone altogether. This one's probably more like it. But I mean, these paints are more chalky, but they're certainly more vibrant. I mean, look at that versus that. Whoops, was it this one? I mean, so much more pigmented. If I go to like more of the kind of olive green color, or there's more of like a lime green color. They don't have like really a sap green there. You're getting much more color for much less money for some of these colors. I'll look at the citrusy color. You know, it's just so much brighter. And this is like $5 for 25 colors. So that, I was expecting at least the quality of this in that paint. Now these paints definitely look kind of chalky. They're not really chalky, but they are a little opaque. They do have a little bit of a chalky film when you paint them over, like if I was going to paint these over a stamped image, I would get a little bit of a haze over the stamped lines if I wasn't careful. So obviously that wouldn't be ideal for stampers. So I don't want to pass them off saying, go get those. I don't necessarily think those are the best things for stampers, but I just want to give you a comparison of what I'm expecting for that kind of money, for more than 3 times what I paid for those 24 colors. You know, I'm kind of expecting. And let me stress that these were sent to me for free. I did not buy them. I don't want you to, you know, I just want to be completely honest. So let's look at their 24 set that I really, really liked. Now these, well, metal tin, gorgeous tin, you know. Look at the swatches here, and I'll just compare these swatches. This is what these are half pans, by the way. Half pans, those are cakes. I'd say the same amount of paint is in one of those cakes as in one of these half pans, and full pans are just like the size of 2 of the half pans. They're just a rectangle pan of watercolor. So, and just, I haven't used these for a while, but I can bet you if I wet this sap green color with just a couple little swishes of my brush without a lot of force, yeah, I'm getting a much more vibrant color. And of course, these are more expensive. I can't remember exactly. I think this set of 24 is probably around 40 or 50, somewhere around there. But then again, there's 12 colors. If you multiply that by 2, that would be, let's see, 17 times 2. That'd be like, what, 34? 17 times 2, 34, I think so. I think it'd be worth saving up a few extra dollars and getting these, especially if you wanted to stay in the Altenew color family and have colors with names that coordinate with their inks, which I think they're supposed to. So I'm disappointed in these paints. I really wanted to enjoy them. I did little doodles with them, little paintings with them, and as I'm using them, I just didn't want to use them anymore. And I don't think that's hard to overcome a feeling like that when you're painting. I want to make sure I wasn't just in a weird frame of mind, so I did a chart, and I can see positive to this set doing the chart. This makes extremely delicate colors when you mix with them, and that could be they definitely look a little more soft and subtle and maybe more fashionable. So this may make your cards look a little bit more elegant because you don't have really vibrant, bright colors. If you do layer your colors, like I did up here, I added a layer of the color, you can get more vibrancy from them. Maybe if you use these along with their watercolor brush pens, which are super inky and bright, you would get a little bit more versatility. I mean, there's some really pretty subtle peaches and greens and grays and stuff you can get with this, some rich browns, which would be pretty on a card. Just as far as enjoying them to paint with, I think they missed the mark. They will get the job done, but for me, I don't think I would ever pick these paints up again to use them. And I mean, I usually will use a paint for something, but these just, I don't want to be negative, but I also don't want somebody wasting their money on something that's not going to do the job that they want to do. However, you might have bought these paints because a lot of people like to buy the new things that come out from their favorite companies. Of course, they want to support their favorite companies, and I completely understand that, and I don't want to, you know, poop on anyone's parade. So what I would do, if you have this set, and you want to get the most out of it, first, don't use your good watercolor brushes. They're too delicate, and you could damage them trying to dig the color out of these pans. Instead, opt for an all-media brush like these Menta all-media brushes. They've got a golden tackle on hair, and they're going to be a little bit more suited to the aggressive nature that you're going to need to employ to get color from these pans. So let's say you wanted a pretty color like that, and that just isn't going to cut it. So, and that's from the Altenew 24 pan set, which I love. See, that's the thing. I really love the products that Altenew makes. This one is just kind of a lemon, I think. But say you want to get a nice bright color like that. That's why I recommend making a chart. If you've got some watercolors you're not so sure about, you want to make them work though. Maybe you spent your watercolor budget on those and they need to work for you. Make a chart. That's going to help you. So what I would do is I would actually take this warm yellow, because that yellow right there, remember we've tested it, was really weak. Take this warm yellow, get yourself a nice amount of it, because that color is nice and bright. Some of the colors are gorgeous. Some of the colors worked just fine, but it's just like some of them, and kind of important ones, weren't working that great, which is just such a bummer. Then take some emerald, and you can get a really beautiful color. So you put a little bit more of that yellow in there. Now you can get a really nice green, but just don't rely on the one in the pan, because I was so bummed, because I thought that's going to be the color that I'm going to love from this set. Let's look at, what does the swatch look like for that one? Where's my box? I want to see what the swatch looks like. Yeah, I mean, look at that swatch. That does not look like what I'm getting out of my palette. That's like, that looks really pretty and really bright and really rich, and that's just not what I was getting from and I pre-sprayed my palette. I dropped water on it, let it sit, let it soak in, and I was just not able to get the saturation that I expect. Another pretty combination is, again, to start off with that nice bright yellow, because hey, I know what it's like to buy something and you're thinking it's going to be the best thing and it just doesn't work out. I got you. So this is also a really pretty color combination. Isn't that a nice sea foamy color? You could dilute that and make it, do a lot of stuff with that. So I don't want to be a bummer, especially if somebody is watching this and they have these paints. Some of these are gorgeous. Look at this kind of this pink that looks like an opera pink. That's super vibrant. These are probably all dye-based colors because they're so transparent. I wouldn't expect any of them to not fade. That's a nice, that rubine color. It's like a nice carmine color. That one would be what you call like opera in Art Supply materials. That red's a little weak. They call this crimson. This is definitely more of a warm red, not like a crimson. It's more like a pyrrole scarlet or a vermilion. So that one's kind of weak. Let's see, the black and brown are actually pretty strong. You know, those aren't bad. The black is nice and strong. The violet is really bold. Look at that. I mean, you got a nice opaque black. You gotta love that. I'm really bummed about the blues because you don't have a strong blue either way. You've got a weak ultramarine. The cobalt teal is really pretty, but you're not getting a really strong blue in either version. I don't think they do a lot with blues in Altenew, it seems like, so that could be why the blue is not a strong brand color for them. So maybe that's it. But man, if you're coloring, you want to have that option. And this emerald green is really nice. So I mean, I don't want to just like crap all over this set because that's not nice. And this set might be perfect for somebody. I would also get some poster putty and I would put them under these pans to stick them in place, because that is going to be the most annoying thing if they're dancing around your palette on you when you're trying to do a painting, because you may be annoyed by the pigments already. You don't need your paints dancing around on you. And I probably would skip the water brush because it just sucking the color back in is going to be more aggravation than a cup of water and a regular brush. So for me, if you haven't purchased this set, I would call it a pass. You know, I aim for my reviews to be honest. I do want to be kind, but I also don't want anyone wasting their money because I know what sort of privilege I have by getting a lot of supplies to review, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. I know I have a responsibility to you, my viewers, first before anybody sending me anything. So I would think twice before buying this. I don't think that it's worth the $17, and I don't think that you're going to get the satisfaction in painting with this. By all means, get this. This is awesome. These colors rock. I was so happy painting with this. It was a joy to paint with, but these were just disappointed me. Again, if you have them, you can get some lovely subtle tones. I guess it would be very difficult to get really tacky, gaudy, bright colors, so there's a bonus. And you know, you can, I mean, there's pretty colors there. It just seems to me to be a little lacking in quality and usefulness. So there you have it. If you enjoy reviews, please give me a thumbs up. That's all I have to say about this paint. I will probably scrap the paint and use the tin for something else. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting.